Yep.
If you look in there...
Oh,
Comedy gold.
sat on a nail.
I heard it from the bottom of the stairs.
Alright, what were you showing me? Hello, and welcome to another episode of Better Totes and Gardens. Today we're in with Pip. Pip's up there at the moment. He's switched the power off because all the emergency lights are on, and we're just getting ready to track down the problem. So it's going to be a weird episode. I think we're getting into the roof. Obviously, Fat Guts isn't, but I think Pip's going to take the camera up into the roof, which will be exciting because I don't think anyone's been in that roof in a fair while. And we'll just see where it goes. I have no idea what's going to happen because we have no idea what's going on. There's just a whole heap of cabling we need to track down so we can knock it out and take it out. And there's some mystery junction boxes that we need to find. And at the moment we'll head up the stairs and we'll check what's happening with Pip, and Pip can probably explain things a little bit better than me. Hi there. So in between me filming that little bit in front of the jukebox that you saw like 2 seconds ago and walking up the stairs, which is a whole of about, well, for me it's a minute. Most people it's like 10 seconds. We've actually may have solved the problem. Don't ask me how. We've been thinking about this for 2 days. But basically, here we are. Everyone knows Pip. Hello, Pip.
Hey.
We've got everything switched off, and anyway, what we've got in here, we've found this is.
It's a bird's nest of cabling.
Yeah. Well, Pip, while I was downstairs filming that, Pip's just fixed a few things up here, loose wires and stuff like that. But found out where we had all our spare circuits. But basically what we're looking for is some old cable. We're looking for a junction box that feeds some old cabling that we want to remove. So we got in here to see if we could kind of track what goes where and see where it goes. And we kind of we've been looking in floors, Pip?
Yeah, we've dug some floors up. We've been up in the ceilings. Mystery cable still to be found, but we've got some more clues this morning. Yeah. So we'll close this up in a minute and put the rest of the power back on and see where we get to.
So I get confused when he talks half the time. I don't know what he's talking about. I just pretend.
Yeah,
but
he doesn't even know what he's talking about.
Yeah, see, but we may have solved it. So we'll turn everything back on once we're finished here. Screw everything up, and then we'll go cable hunting, or junction box hunting. Or if it is a junction box, but there's a junction somewhere. Yeah. So, wish us luck. Look at that. That's fantastic. I mean, it's good, but
It's definitely work hard.
what? Oh, you're thinking, champ.
Why would you? Anyway, alright, we can just let him
dangle?
Dangle, yeah, because I'm going to take it off.
Well, like Forrest Gump on the front of the f***ing boat. You know what? Oh, he's on Jenny. Like the boat. Lieutenant Dan! Is the end? Ooh.
Well, I'll tell you what. That's pretty f***ing shit.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
No f***ing pile of shit here.
Perfect.
Should probably try and get some more cables in there. I reckon we get at least another 2 in.
You reckon we could?
Yeah, for sure.
Seven.
7.
Oh, so that is the junction.
Well, it is a junction. There's that many f***ing junctions. This should be called the Junction Hotel.
Well, we're on a junction, kind of, aren't we?
Yeah. I think it looks like I'm going on a roof mission.
Yes. Not me. Fat guy don't fit in the hole.
Oh yes.
Nah.
Huh?
Nah, I won't fit through that.
How's she looking? Any luck?
Nope. Not a thing. There's not a sign of an old cable. So that means the junction has to be right in the corner. Has to be there. So what I might do is I'm going to turn these lights off.
Yep.
Because it's sketchy up here.
What would have caused that?
Say it again?
Emergency light just went off.
Yeah, the battery's gone flat.
Battery's gone flat, mate.
Hey?
Battery's gone flat.
Oh, really? You're right.
Yeah, I'm alright.
So the feed comes up through here.
Yeah.
So
4.
through the just for the entire bar by the looks of it. Well, actually, some of it comes out of the roof as well.
Another hole.
Yeah, oh no, another hole.
Oh, there's a junction right here. You don't think that's it?
That's not it. Yeah, there's nothing there for us.
Is there a chance it's like rendered into the wall like the last lot?
Yeah, but the problem is somebody has connected new stuff to old stuff somewhere. Where that is, I don't know. I think it's under the floor up there.
Annoying. No.
Yeah.
Down we go again.
Let's see what happens here. Does it even work? Yes, he works and he is wired correctly. B number 10. No.
Fucking kitchen?
Yep.
Where?
Well, it's kitchen number 3 is.
Hold on.
So that one and the one in the kitchen by the window, the same circuit. Which makes sense because if you follow that conduit, it goes straight through.
Alright, so the other day, I think we showed it, Pip brought up some floorboards. We're still trying to track down where this junction box is. It's not on the roof. That's all we know. But we've kind of tried to trace the circuit. So we know that the circuit here, 10, there's a feed out to a couple of different places. But weirdly, for this bit here, see how the floorboards change? Mm-hmm. So that means that the way the bearers have gone have changed. So we don't know. I mean, it looks to me like at some point they all ran this way. And then this is an add-on of some kind. I mean, it doesn't make sense to do this except for the stairs. Anyway, Pip's going to teach. I've never brought up a floorboard properly. I probably did, but I was probably a kid. I think my dad might have shown me once, but I can't remember. So he's going to teach me how to do it anyway. And then we're going to hopefully bring up this one here so we get a good line of sight, because that's where we can see this cable here off this junction box runs that way. And I think I might have just did something wrong. Anyway, watch me, Pip, teach me how to do something and me f it up. That's pretty much it. So if we've got, if that runs into a junction box here, And that junction box runs down with 3 other cables this way.
Which is that same junction box that we already know. The Kim Salmon junction box.
Yep, and then that feeds out and runs through this bearer here.
Yep.
Goes that way, which would be what you were saying it would run to.
Yep.
That light.
Yep. Again, there's that many f***ing junctions. You know, you've got 2 10s going that way, you've got a 10 going that way. So what we're doing here is we're cutting the tongues off.
Oh,
let's cut that there. Now we're just going to dig this out. Hold on, Jill, hold on. There's a mouse's spine.
Do you hear he's on a bit of a rampage. He's like some sort of like Old Testament. He's like, now we're just cutting the tongues out. The mouse's spine. Very biblical.
Alright, there's f*** all in here, and that was all for nothing, other than a mouse's spine. That cable that disappears into somewhere. See if you put your video on, look down this hole. That cable runs straight through. Yeah, I can see your light there. So, not only are we cutting out tongues and finding mice's spines, we're chasing tails. It's all about animal parts today. So, we got a junction here. This is dead at the minute, for all those observing at home. This one goes to Kim Salmon, who's over there. This guy, this older looking one, it goes in, there's a hole through the timbers here. You can probably see him in that gap. And it's in here somewhere, there's a junction.
There it is. I see you.
You see a junction, or what do you see?
No, I just see the cable.
Yeah. Okay, Shane, switch that off.
Off.
Nah, that's still on. That's power or something. In that guy.
Pippin may have solved it. So we found, just as a bit of an explanation, if you pop down here, now you see that hole there? There was an old light fitting there. There was a heap of it that just went in there, and one of them was the cloth tail.
So, I'm going to switch this on. Some of this is going to work, some of it's not, but that's good.
Not working?
Not working. But that works. That's bizarre.
Not working.
So, this is kind of good news.
A few moments later.
Kitchen's working.
The kitchen's working? What do you say?
Pip?
It's working.
It's working.
Wrong answer.
How many hours have passed?
2.
Yeah.
Maybe almost 3. So it's been 3 hours since we recorded anything. We've been running around like crazy. Now, here are some of the things we found. Everything's off, but so this is the old cloth wrap cable that we're talking about that's causing us all the dramas. And that's what you want to eliminate from the building. So this one is actually being eliminated. It's all good. I found that in between. I found $2 as well, but I can't get to it. That pulling up the yellow tongue. But anyway, that's the stuff that we're trying to eliminate. But basically, because we've got, it's a Friday, everything always happens on a Friday or a Saturday, as is this what we're trying to do is to get all the lights in this back area working, because obviously we need it. We're going to forget about the old junction box that we need to find because it splits off. So downstairs is on circuit 10 and upstairs is on circuit 10 as well, but they've all got old wire in them. But there is a junction box somewhere that feeds downstairs and and feeds upstairs. They split off somewhere. So what we're going to do today is concentrate on upstairs because downstairs isn't being used. And what we're going to do is we're probably going to get in the roof, relay all new cable to a couple of switches, and we're going to put some loops in. So later on we can come back and put what we need to put there. But basically we're just going to eliminate all the old shit. It'll be fine, but we'll just wait. Pip's in the roof now, just checking some things, making sure we can get everything done. You can probably hear him, maybe not, but yeah, been a headache. That's it. We'll be back in about, well, after this cut to see us fix something.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we cut stuff, we found stuff. Pip, is that it?
Yeah.
Pip made another biblical reference, but
yeah. I forget what it was now, but
yeah, it was something.
for more.
Yeah.
I mean, I can put an explanation over the top of it.
Yeah, and then
But the long story short is...
killed it. It is dead. Killed it. It is dead. And then we made some noises with this. Beep, 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 beep.
And are you any closer to getting to
Nope.
the bottom of where the junction box is?
Nope.
Well, okay, if we go with these guys will be it. They're it. So that then, see, that's gone. That's telling us that there's a junction box under this row.
No.
And what does that say, Pip?
That means Shane's a f***ing champion.
Finally! I had about 10 guesses, but...
But I think for today we'll leave that.
yeah, I agree. We can't rip it up. We've got to
Because we
show
can't rip
some.
So I'll cap these guys off.
Yep.
And I'll put a box over the top of that with a switch in it.
Yep.
So then we'll have this switch here.
Yep.
I'm almost tempted to go straight through that wall.
Yep.
Stay tuned and come back in about an hour.
I don't know. I'm packing up. And I'm watching the light just in case.
It doesn't work.
Oh, that works. You can use the switches from there.
Okay, yeah.
That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, and that one's Alright, well hang on. I've got to get this stuff.
I did the intro ages ago. Well, the outro ages ago anyway.
Yeah, but isn't it nicer to have the bloody light on?
It is nice with it. With the
Why is it different switch?
hey?
It's just on thing.
Oh, because we were going to put the switch in here, weren't we?
Yeah. I don't really want them on all weekend. And this guy doesn't switch either.
There's an endpoint.
Yeah.
They're on.
Lovely.
Lovely. See, look. Job done. It's 8 o'clock. Doors are in 1 minute. And we're finished. So doors for upstairs are literally in 1 minute. We're f***ing out.
Bye.
See yous.